Hillary Clinton's campaign got some good news today. The Dallas Morning News is endorsing her. Keep in mind, it is the first time they've endorsed a Democrat in 75 years. Here to talk more about this is Ed Espinoza from Progress, Texas, and GOP consultant Edward Getterman. Thank you both for being here.
Good to be here.
All right, Ed, what does Hillary Clinton need to do to convince Republican voters that she will live up to this latest endorsement?
Well, I think what she's been doing throughout this campaign, especially as a stark contrast to Donald Trump, is showing that she is capable and qualified to do the job. And that's what the Dallas Morning News said in their endorsement of Hillary Clinton today. And keep in mind, this is not the first newspaper to do this. The Houston Chronicle actually endorsed Clinton back in August. Might have been as early as July. They were the first paper, one of the first papers in the country to make that endorsement. So I think if she continues with her strong campaign and demonstrating that she's qualified and capable of doing this job, that it's not going to be any doubt that she is the better candidate for this position.
Edward, how surprised were you that the Dallas Morning Star endorsed Clinton when they have not endorsed a Democrat since well before World War II?
I don't think anything about this election surprises me anymore, to be honest with you. Normally, big city newspaper endorses Democrat would not in and of itself be a remarkable story, except as you point out in this case, it really is. The Dallas Morning News hasn't endorsed a Democrat since World War II. You know, as they pointed out in their editorial, they really felt like they had no choice. Their biggest issue was Hillary Clinton, even with all of her warts, is at least a known commodity. The issue they've got with Trump, and they make a good argument, is that he's a total wild card. They feel like, you know, when you've got a guy who you don't know what he's going to do on a day-to-day basis, sometimes an hour-to-hour basis, that's just too dangerous of a proposition to have him in the White House. So at least with Hillary, you kind of know based on, you know, her lifetime in government service that you know kind of what's coming. And with Trump, it's just too much of a guessing game.
Now, Edward, if Clinton does win, what are your concerns about a Democrat being in the Oval Office for another 4 years?
Well, my concern globally about a Democrat being in office for another 4 years is they're going to continue the policies that have caused so many problems that we're dealing with today. You know, Obamacare is in the middle of a death spiral that's not going to stop. Lots and lots of Texans last year saw their premiums go up. This year it's going to be worse. They're going to have fewer choices. Their premiums are going to go up even higher. You're going to have more and more people who are going to be forced to choose to pay the penalty instead of being able to afford health insurance because there is no more affordable health insurance. So my bigger concern just as an American is for our country that these you know, failed policies are going to be continued. On a political basis, the concern you have is the concern that I'm sure Democrats have had in Texas for years, which is that Republicans have been entrenched here for years. You know, and when a party gets entrenched, it's harder and harder to get them out. And you know, that's, I guess, the bigger concern you have politically. But as I say, my concern is more as an American is that we're facing another 4 years of Barack Obama policies. And the saddest part about it is it's a totally self-inflicted wound that Republican voters have inflicted upon themselves.
All right, Ed, I want you to talk about the benefits of another 4 years with a Democrat in the White House.
Well, with the Democrat, and specifically with Hillary Clinton as opposed to Donald Trump, what you have is a president that has demonstrated a willingness to treat all groups, regardless of their faith, regardless of their ethnicity, with fairness and in an equitable way. And that is a striking contrast between Clinton and Donald Trump. And the other thing with Clinton is that she has experience in the diplomatic arena. She has diplomatic relationships that I think are very important for our national security interests. Compared to, like Edward said, compared to somebody like Donald Trump, who is wildly unpredictable. You do not know what he's going to do. He has made comments before that he has a long memory and that he holds grudges. And he's even asked questions before along the lines of, if we have nukes, why don't we use them? That's not the kind of mentality you want from a president, Donald Trump. And I think that Clinton offers a much better alternative for the country over the next 4 years.
All right, Ed, Edward, we are out of time, but thank you both for sharing your perspectives with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.